Check 1 2. Check, check, check. What is going on? What is going on, everybody in the house? What is going on? Wake up in Cleveland every single morning.
I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up.
What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? We'll get this soon enough. What is going on? Why isn't things running the way they're supposed to? There we go. There we go. There we go. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Wake Up in Cleveland with a Windex bottle. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You know, life is what it is. We're going to do it. This is going to be kind of an abridged Tech Thursday. I'm just making sure the audio is good. I always like to check beforehand because yesterday I had kind of an issue. Okay, looks like the audio is good. Strangely enough, the audio is actually, look, the Windex bottle is because we're going to clean this thing while we're doing Tech Thursday, because it's so nasty. I want everybody to kind of see what I'm looking at here. This is from my son, and I used it yesterday on my show. And I was, needless to say, I was so embarrassed. This used to be mine. This used to be just a pristine piece of equipment. And then I got a DDJ 1000, two of them actually. And I sent it to him. He said, let me use it. I want to learn how to DJ, Dad. So I I gave it to him. So now we're going to clean this as we're going through Tech Thursday. As I said, this is going to be kind of an abridged Tech Thursday. I got some things going on that I need to take care of. I got some calls I need to make. I actually have a conference call, a Zoom call with Crate Hackers. So that's what's on the schedule today. Crate Hackers meeting. We're going to talk a little bit about stuff. By the way, I don't know if anybody's following. You should be following me on IG. You should, Diesel. you should be following me on IG. Because there's lots of different things that I post. I don't just post about, my stuff and stuff that I do. If I find something that's interesting, I post that left and right. So something that had popped up, which was actually so cool. And of course, I don't think that I can bring it up now because I'm on a whole different window here. But let's see if we can. Let's move this tab out. That way I can go to my IG. And I don't even know if I can go to my IG stories from within turn on notifications. You can turn on notifications on your browser on IG now. God, what will they think of next? If only you could actually post from your browser, then things would be a lot easier, just in general. All right, let's see if I can go to my stories. All right, here we go. Let's see this post real quick. So let's share this screen for a second here. Can I do it without killing anything? Let's see if I can just share this window. It may not work, but we'll see. All right, here we go. Okay, I think that should work. There we go. And can I make it a little bigger? Okay, so this is from a company called Scratch Attack. And what they've done is they've actually made tone arms for your Rain 1. So you can play records if you need to. It's I believe it's under I think they're trying to, it's crowdsourced right now. I think they're trying to crowdsource it so they can start selling this. But this is actually super amazing. For some of you guys, I know it's probably not a big deal. You don't really care, but just having this option, this is one of those things that we have been talking about for years. Like ever since the Rain 12 came out, people were like, okay, well, that's cool and all, but how do I play my records? Is there a way to play my records? And, we just kind of sat there and dealt with it. Now, this might become reality, which is cool. Now, I know they've made this one for the Rain 1. I guess the prototype for the Rain 1. But it's just a matter of time before they realize that they can do the same thing with 12s. They just have to build a bigger tone arm, I guess. So that's really, really cool. That is really, really cool. Very, very impressed by that. Okay, let me move this page off. I'm finally starting to get used to all this additional OBS stuff. Because I got a lot of windows open and OBS has to, there's a lot. But as Shay Savage said, very clever engineering. Yes, very, very clever engineering. I agree 100%. I've actually been talking to them, and I know we've been going back and forth with DM. I think they responded last, so we'll check it out. But yeah, so cool. So cool. So I will be following that. And I know for a lot of people, it doesn't really matter. You know, you're not playing 45s anyway. I mean, because look, when it's all said and done, we have to realize that most people, if they have vinyl, they have 12 inches. Pause. Not a lot of people have 45s, unless you're Mojax, and then you have 12,000 45s. But you know what I'm saying. So I think if they really want it to be successful, if they really want to have an actual product they're going to sell, they're definitely going to need to have a 12-inch version at some point. 45s are on a rebound, Mixmaster. Make sure you guys are following Mixmaster GNL. I don't know exactly who's on YouTube versus who's on... well, there's actually a good amount of people on YouTube. Make sure you guys are following Mixmaster GNL. He has some great tools for syncing and, you know, talking through many different apps to get everything to work exactly the same way on your DJ apps. So make sure you are following Mixmaster GNL. And he's a nice guy. Okay. Let's take a look at who's in the chat here. T Diesel's on a roll today. Okay, let's see who's in the chat. We got Mo Faya, we got Mixmaster GNL, John P, T Diesel, obviously T Diesel, Shah Savage, DJ Joe Blaze. Who else we got in here? D Noel Productions, Queso in the house, Philly B, Rob A, what's going on? Good to see you. Jay Book, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're following Jay Book, especially on the YouTubes and on the Twitches. Get on there. The Rudest Buddhist, what is going on? Good to have you here today. Thanks for hanging out. Who else we got? Rat Bone. I think I might have said that already. And yeah, I think we nailed it. I do want to point out that this Wake Up in Cleveland show, this whole talk show, talking to people, you know, giving my thoughts on YouTube, on Twitch. I do want to say this was kind of my thing. And then I noticed that my guy, Nick, is all about this now. So Nick and I are going to have to battle down for a second. No, I actually love what Nick is doing. Nick's a good guy. One of my boys. DJ Diamond Lee in the house. The Beast in the house. What is going on? The Beast. You better be an actual beast. That's all I'm saying. You can't call yourself the Beast and not be the Beast. I said it. Big Tunes in the house. Yeah, so for anybody that was wondering, legitimate beast. Fair enough. I was just talking about this really cool blank box. That's not what I wanted. Let's see if I can pull it back in. I'm full of pauses today. Ah, there it is. Let's see if it comes back. Sorry, I lost my mouse trigger here. There it is. Okay. So we were just talking about this guy right here. This is the Scratch Attack. I don't know what you'd call it. Addition to the Rain 1. It allows you to actually play 45s on your Rain 1 controller. Now, if they can only make an actual hardware effects, that would be fantastic. I kid. You know, it's funny. I kid about that whole thing about the hardware effects being on the Rain 1. I kid, and then I don't kid at the same time. Like, at all. It should have had hardware effects. That's the one. I think that's the weakest point of the Rain 1. The lack of hardware effects for the amount that you pay. That's it. So I'll keep saying that until a Rain 2 comes out and has hardware effects. Which may be never. It may be. But hey, at least you can play 45s on it, right? Okay, so Diamond Lee. Let's see what's going on with Diamond Lee. I know he just posted something. Let's see. He said, "I watched your video on the Shure SLX. This will help me on my decision on my next mic." Yeah. So there's only one thing you have to realize with any mics, and that is, well, and let me clean as I talk. All right, there we go. There's only one thing you have to realize, and that is the frequency spectrum of a microphone. Every state, every damn near county has their own frequency ranges that are being allocated to specific things, like, you know, Spectrum or what is the big one? One of the cell phone services, T-Mobile. That broadband spectrum that they're basically leasing out is being taken over. So a lot of the microphones were operating under a certain spectrum, and that spectrum has been kind of phased out. So the question is always, well, what happens when that spectrum gets phased out? What can you do? So, but here's the facts. The facts are, just because the spectrum is now being used somewhere else, that doesn't mean that your stuff isn't going to work anymore. But you do risk having conflicts, especially if, like, you're outside. That's where I find the most of my issues come from, if I'm using a microphone that is occupying that space. So if you're outside, you'll start to get cutouts and things like that. So you want to try to avoid that. You want to try to pick up a microphone that is not in that spectrum. That way you don't run into that kind of issue. The problem is, you know, I've been in business for a long time, and now, unfortunately, all of these microphones that I own, and I own like 10 microphones, and they all operate on the same stupid spectrum that they just leased out. So I'm gonna have to replace basically all of my microphones for the company. Now, I still use my SLX, the older spectrum model, because they do make a newer model. But I do use that, and I haven't had any issue with it except for one time. And let me go to this demo real quick, and let me bring up my overhead. Except for one time. One time I actually had, I was doing a wedding of all things, and they were talking on the microphone, and sure enough, it was cutting out after every like third word. So I fortunately had a wired microphone. So basically I just plugged in the wired microphone, ran it to them, and then they used that. But you know, you're kind of screwed if you are operating in that frequency. So just keep that in mind when you buy a microphone, to check the frequencies. I think nowadays, most of the time, they're selling, I think the frequency that's being used now is 900. I think the 900 megahertz is where most of the Shure microphones are, and that's a clean bandwidth. Or it could be 800, somewhere around 850. But either way, do I have the microphone in here? I don't have it in here. I know I talked about it in the video though. So yeah, so just make sure about that when you do it. And if the outdoor is giving you an issue, a lot of times the outdoor gives you an issue because not so much that you're operating on the same spectrum. Diamond Lee, thanks for the bits. Not that you're operating on the same like frequency, but you're just running into interference. A lot of places, you know, there's a lot of like radio stations and satellites and all these things are operating, and sometimes they just bleed into your channels. So, you know, you might want to check your channel, changing the channel, see if that fixes it, and you know, and go from there. But yeah, it's tough. Wireless microphones are tough. You know, yeah. DJ Dam says airports and hotels. It's just something you just can't avoid, and you won't even know it. That's the problem. You know, like I was sitting in the wedding where I was having all the cutouts. I was at Santa Monica Pier. You know, just in, but it didn't matter. You know, that broadband, that opening, there was probably a cell tower chilling around the corner from me and just sucking up all my natural resources. Okay, I think we're clean now. I think we're clean. I mean, when it's all said and done, that's all he had to do. You know? Just much better. Much better now. I could sell this on eBay. Okay. So that's clean. Now I don't feel so embarrassed. Although the sides are kind of dirty where your hands go. The sides are like your steering wheel. You ever touch your steering wheel? You ever take a look at your steering wheel like over time? Like just take a look at the back of your steering wheel. Just take a look. Like go get a towel and just rub on it real quick. I guarantee you, you're going to see some nasty stuff fall off that thing. Because this is where all your fingers go. This is like this is the when you're working events, this is like the taco truck grease. This is a vodka tonic spill with some sediment on the side. I'm hearing. All right, let me turn myself off. Yeah, DJ hygiene. We don't do enough of this. And these sides can get super, super, super dirty. It's something you probably don't even notice, but like, I can't even show you in between these little rivets. They are totally dirty. But, you know, they'll be good as new. And then I'm going to give it back to my son. He's going to fuck it up again. Oh, man. You know, there's something I forgot to do here. Let me just change the good old YouTubes real quick. All right. So while I'm changing this thing real quick, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, when we're talking about gear, tech, future, whatever, make sure you just hit the ask button. That's kind of key here. Hit the ask. That way I know what we're talking about, and I will try to answer it, you know, to the best of my ability. Yeah. So as we're talking, I'm going to do some cleaning. There's nothing wrong with doing some double duty work here. Yeah. And if you're asking, no, I'm not using some high electro grade fluids to clean it. I'm just using some damn Windex. Windex on a towel. That's so it's not damp and I'm not getting anything in here. But I'm not that guy who honestly cares about you know, static electricity, you know, whatever. I've never had that. All right, let's see here. Ratbone said somebody asked a question. Let me go back up. And of course, now I don't see it. There's a question from Soul Therapy. Okay. Let's check out Soul Therapy. How far is it up? It can't be that many. There's a lot of... Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, let's see here. I am a mixer, not really a scratcher. Best controller for just a mixer, new or old? Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I think first off, you know, what is your budget? What is your budget? And if you're just a straight mixer, software is no object. Like, it doesn't matter what software is. You're just looking for it. I need to know your budget. But if you're just a mixer, not scratching, the faders don't matter as much. You can pretty much get anything, to be honest with you. they're all going to do fine. I mean, even this SX2 is good. Now, the only reason why I don't always recommend the SX2 is because of just the audio card. It's not the best audio card. The SX3 has a considerably better audio card, but you know, I think somebody said somewhere between 600 and 800. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the Roland 505M. I'm a big fan of that one. I'm a big fan of the Pioneer DDJ 800 controller. I mean, in reality, if you're just trying to do mixing, the Newmark Platinums are really good, and those are really affordable. Nothing wrong with Newmark Platinums. Plus they have the trigger pads. But yeah, I was very impressed by the Platinum, to be honest with you. But yeah, if you're not scratching, so the fader does not matter. The crossfader, the up faders don't matter as much. It doesn't really matter, in all honesty. DJ Damages, thank you for the subscription. Appreciate that, Doug. Okay. Hopefully I answered. If you have more, just post it in there and let me know. Okay, let's see here. DJ Tone, welcome out. Thanks for hanging out today. Yeah, Noobtastic knows. So I actually got hit once on this channel because my Mac, I have one of those wireless Mac keyboards, and the Macs have white keys, and it just happened to show up in an overhead part of the video, and oh my God, did I get hated on? Why is your keyboard so dirty? Clean your keyboard. Oh my God. I'm like, first off, everybody's keyboard is dirty. I don't care what you say. At some point, you're like, damn, my keyboard's dirty. I guess I should clean this at some point. But it always gets to that dirty part first. I just so happen to have it on camera. There's a couple of people out there. I don't remember their names. I'm not going to put them on blast. But they're like, I did a video, I did a Rain 1 video, and I brought out my record box version of my DDJ 1000, which I don't even use anymore. It was just sitting around, and it was dirty. I only brought it out for literally a 3-second clip to show the size difference between a Rain 1 and a DDJ 1000. And the dude was like, yo, man, you got to clean that stuff. That's my number one pet peeve. That, dirty stuff on video. And I'm like, you know what? It's okay, fine. I get that. You got a pet peeve about that, but it doesn't change. It doesn't change the content. You just got a little bit of a dirty controller. And nah, man, you just can't do that. I'm like, okay, Dad, thank you. I'm sorry for embarrassing you on your channel. But all fairness, I did clean it off though, because it was dirty. But when you're making YouTube videos, sometimes you're going for like 3, 4, 5 hours. And the Rain 1 video, first off, it was already delayed. So when you're making YouTube videos and you finally get it and you're just like, oh, that's right, I got to shoot this one little clip. As you're going through the edit, you realize, oh, I didn't talk about this. So now you got to go back and kind of reset everything up, record, throw your hard drive in, and all these other things. You're not thinking about, oh, let me make sure that this one little thing that's going to be in the video for 2 seconds is super, super perfect. The most important part is getting the content out. So, yeah. Okay. I'm really happy about this. I might use this again. I'm not giving it back to him. This really was, when it came out, the best controller on the market. I know it came out with the SX1 first, but when the SX2 came out with the RGB color pads, and it was almost a perfect controller. Still impressed by the craftsmanship, and people that say Pioneer stuff doesn't last. This is old, man. This is an old ass controller, and it still works perfectly. The only thing I say that knowing that for whatever reason, my RCAs, which is kind of a thing with Pioneer, my RCAs, I'm only getting one channel output on the master RCAs, but that is definitely a Pioneer thing. If anything's gonna go out, it's your RCAs. Okay, let's see here. I think I answered this. What chemical are you using? Windex. Don't be jealous. But now look at this bad boy. Spotless. Yeah, he's not getting this back. And the funny thing is, he's like, so, Dad, can you go to the warehouse and storage unit? I keep calling it a warehouse, but it's a storage unit. Let's call it what it is. Can you go to the warehouse and get me some turntables? Because I want to learn how to scratch. I'm like, I want you to learn how to, get comfortable with vinyl too. He uses mine all the time. But have you seen the SX2? Have you seen how you treated that? Turntables, yeah, you can beat them to hell, but you can also mess them up pretty bad. So I still have the Rain 12s here. I think I'm going to let him borrow the Rain 12s. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, okay. Let's take a look. Well, technically, it's still my gear. And if you saw his room, you'd realize it's probably better that I clean it. All right, let's see here. DJ Joe Blaze asks, I'm wanting to upgrade my streaming camera. What's a good camera budget to 600 to 800? Okay, well, good question. First off, what are you using right now? I think that's the first question. I always recommend, if you can, the best option is to go DSLR. Now, let me back up. Because I'm going to say something and then, DJ Dam is going to want to log in and tell me I'm wrong. It depends on what you're doing. If your camera is only for streaming and you have no plans to do anything else with that camera, then we got to change it up. If you have any ideas or any options of, I want to use it for streaming, but I also want to take it out and I want to shoot some stuff and I want to take pictures, it changes everything. Like my cameras are all DSLR cameras. I got a Panasonic Lumix G7 here. I got a G9 over there. So those are my two main cameras that I use. They're DSLRs. I have dozens of lenses, so I can swap back and forth. That's one thing I will tell you. It's not a good idea to buy different types of cameras because you want to be able to swap lenses back and forth. That's really, really important. But if you just want it for streaming, you'd probably be better off with, even like the camcorders, although I wouldn't get the, I think it's a Sony Z7. Just don't get that one because it turns off a lot. It has problems. Some people say they get it to work properly, but all I've ever seen are problems from people using it. So, but yeah, people in the chat can probably help you if you're not doing DSLR better than I can, because I don't use webcams, but the Logitech webcams are good. Any webcam, your phone webcam is good. Anything can be good with enough light. The question is, what kind of vibe are you trying to set up? Like for me, I try to set up a little bit of ambiance on my stream here. So there's virtually no light in here. I only have this light here. I have a light right here that I only used so I could highlight the, this one. If I don't have that on there, you lose a little bit from it. So that's why I do it. But then I can keep it as dark as I want and not have an issue. So just keep that in mind. But I will let the people in the chat, or you can tell me if you want a DSLR or not. If you want a DSLR, there are many options for DSLR that are definitely far more affordable than you think. If your budget is 600 to 800 and you want a DSLR, I'm still a big fan of Micro Four Thirds for video. I would say go with either the G7 or the G85, which has image stabilization built into it. That's what I would say. Those are all in that price range. The Sonys, you can get a Sony like the A6600 or a 6500 and still have a great low light, which is important. you know, a low light camera. But there's just so many around that price range. But you also have to factor in things like lenses, and there's so many little things. So it just depends. Okay, let's see here. You say spit could work? So gross. DJ Chanel be in the house. What's going on? She says, if you buy Canon from Amazon, you don't buy the Amazon warranty. Canon USA might just tell you that they don't repair a Canon. It's not from a Canon made in. Yeah. So she's right. And this goes for a lot of cameras out there. If you buy a camera from Amazon, you may not have a warranty, and you really have to read the fine print on there. Canon's big on that, on the warranty thing. Sony, I think Sony's okay, but I know Canon's real bad on covering warranty stuff on there. You know, because you can get name brand Canon, you can get gray market Canon, which is like you know, outside of the US, same model, same everything, but maybe it's a Japanese version, and the USA Canon won't cover that warranty. But I've bought gray market stuff all the time. I buy gray market lenses, and they're good. I don't have an issue. You know, and there's always Craigslist. If you have an eye, I don't recommend people buying camera stuff from Craigslist unless they have experience in knowing what to look for. You know, looking at the camera, looking for micro scratches, trying to figure out, like, all these little things are important. So I would not recommend that for most people unless you are already a photographer, videographer, and know what you're looking for. Yeah, T Diesel knows this. Yeah, make sure your camera does stay on past 30. So I have both of my cameras, I never turn off. I have dummy batteries in both my cameras. They stay on all day, all night. I don't turn them off at all. I just walk away. So they're always on. And no, they never overheat. The Lumix line doesn't overheat. That's just facts. I know that sometimes the Sony line will overheat. Some of the newer Canons will overheat. But yeah, I've never had a Lumix overheat on me, ever. My iPhone has overheated on me before my Lumix has. Okay, let's see here. Oh, I only have like 20 more minutes. Hold on, let me send my Crate Hackers guy. Just let him know that I need another 30 minutes for this. Give me. Totally forgot about him. See what happens? You just start talking and then literally time goes by. So we're going to do this. Hopefully he'll respond and he'll give me another 20 minutes or so and go from there. And let's try to answer as many questions as possible. I knew this was going to be a shorter one. Warren 702 in the house. What's going on? What is going on? See, Warren is he's a record box lover, diehard record box guy. So his question is, how come more DJs don't use record box? And that is actually a very good question, because record box is very, very good. In all honesty, it's a very good application. And if you have any Pioneer products, Rekordbox will work. Now, of course, there is a caveat: is if you're using Rekordbox 6, some products will not work without having without paying the subscription fee. So that's the only flaw. Like if you have an S9 and you upgrade to Rekordbox 6, you're going to need the subscription fee, or it will not work on the S9. So stupid. I know it's stupid. It is what it is. But yeah, that was Pioneer's decision. But Rekordbox, I'm a true fan of Rekordbox's library management. They do that as good as or better than anybody out there, and that's an absolute fact. Let's see. Okay, I have about 30 minutes to give you a tour. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. See, people think that I'm anytime people give me, they're like, well, we need to go through the demo. We need to go through this. I'm like, look, man, I'm pretty good at this. This is kind of what I do. You can give me the Cliff Notes version, and I'll get through it. Yeah. Anyway, DJ Stress in the house. That's Jetpack Bags. Jetpack Bags. Jetpack Bags. If you are looking for a true DJ bag, don't look around. Don't go Odyssey. Go with the standard. That is Jetpack Bags. Let's see here. DJ MoFi asks, do you still use iTunes to organize your music? So that is actually a very J Technician. Thanks for the subscription. Appreciate you. Direct Music Services with the 10-piece. Thank you so much for that write-off. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. So let's see here. What do we got going on here? So the question is, do I still use iTunes to organize my music? And the simple answer is, at the moment, I do. I don't know if I'm going to continue that, but right now, I've always used iTunes as my trash bin. So all my music just goes in iTunes. So that's just it. But I don't like set up my playlist or anything like that through iTunes. Everything else I do from crates, Serato crates, or, DJ Tone. You don't ask me if the S11 or Rain 72. That's not a good question. That is a loaded question. DJ Stress TV with the 500 bits. Thank you so much, man. That's a loaded question because everybody is different with what they want out of their mixer. Is it S11, S72? What I have said is, and this is how I feel. Underneath this table, there's an S11. Okay. A non-screen version I own is the Rain 70. So this is what I feel, my opinion. Rain 70 over the S7. Pioneer S11 over the Rain 72. There you go. How do I refurbish Tech 1200s? DJ Stress with some more bits. Thank you so much. How do you refurbish Tech 1200s? Easy. Take it to a Tech 1200s refurbish guy. That's what I do. I have a couple of guys, a couple of businesses that all they do is refurbish DJ gear. And I mean, you can go on YouTube and try that. It's not a lot to refurbish anything. I mean, usually speaking, you might pay anywhere between $40 to $80 to have your entire system completely overhauled. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about whatsoever. Now, if you obviously need to replace your tone arm or things like that, it's gonna run you a little more money. But just take it to a tech person. Honestly. DJ Darth Vader in the house. What's going on, fam? All right, a couple more questions because I can only take this till 12:30 today. But if you have a question, make sure you throw the ask in the chat. Throw the ask in the chat and then your comment. Very, very important, or I'm probably gonna miss you there. Okay, let's see here. By the way, Warren, when are you going on next? Drop it in the chat when you're going on next. And Warren uses a PC. My XMG video for the PC laptop that I'm super impressed with is being finished today. I need to get it off my desk because I want to get this thing off because I have a couple of gigs that it's going to require being able to DJ. So I got to get this table off. My DJ gear sits underneath this table. Oh, by the way, in case anybody was wondering, you may or may not be, I'm DJing on Snapback tomorrow. That is Snapback Live, Snapback_live, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you guys want to see me kind of do my thing, make sure you are on Twitch tomorrow at noon Pacific Standard Time. That's when I will be DJing on Snapback. Did we get a rate or just the numbers just like high today? Well, we do have almost 60 people on YouTube. Welcome out, YouTube people. I'm going to try to keep doing the Thursday show on YouTube and on Twitch. I know I'm breaking the law, but Tech Thursday, I think, needs to hit both of my both groups of people that follow me, because I think we need to pass it through. Okay. All right. Let's drop down and let's see here. Look, another Cleve, DJ Cleve from South Carolina checking in. Thanks for hanging out today. DJ Garley, also please read on YouTube. I can only read on one place. My voice travels through both. Hopefully you actually have a question. So we're going to go up and see. Mofia says, are you still considering doing a business course? Yes. Yes, I am. I just got to get through. We're starting to work again and people are starting to call now. So now I have to balance making videos and recording, making videos, emails, phone calls. It's all a thing. So yeah. Darth Vader says, where is my salsa? No salsa today. No salsa. So Rich Alex asks, what do you think of the XDJ XZ? So funny thing is, I've only touched it at NAMM for about 20 seconds while Nick Spinelli stared at me. That is the God's honest truth. And I have been trying to get Pioneer to send me one, and I have never gotten one. So I don't have an opinion of the XZ. One opinion would be it's big. It's not something that I would use over the 1000 just because of its size. I do love the fact that you can do record box or Serato. That's important. I do love the jog wheels. Although I think they're using the 1000 jog wheels, not the 800 jog wheels. But it's big though. It's big. But I never use it more than literally 2 seconds. Thanks to Nick Spinelli staring at me the whole time. Leon Claiborne asks, keep or sell the DDJ SX2? The answer would be, what do you have? Do you have something else? Are you thinking about upgrading to something else? Because if you're thinking about upgrading to something else, then yeah. I like the SX2. It was a great controller when it came out. However, it always suffered from poor audio. It's just good enough. The mic inputs have always been just good enough. Like borderline, if I push this anymore, it's going to sound like trash. Like that's the SX2. The SX3, however, has a much better preamp system, mic preamps, audio output, everything's better. It has the same, I think it's sharing the same platform as the DDJ 1000. And I know that sounds good. So, plus little things like having a single USB versus dual for being able to swap out. Only the, I know you have two microphones. No, I think you only have one on this one. I forget. Yeah, one microphone on this one. But you can... Yeah, I always forget. So this is the one microphone. The SX3 and the 1000 are both dual microphones. So, but is it a good controller? Yes. If you're not out and about and doing a whole bunch of DJing, is it a good controller? Yes. Are there better ones? Of course. But if you're not making any money, there's not necessarily a reason to sell it, you know, unless it's an actual business. Okay. All right. Let's see here. All right. Let's see what we got here. I think that's Yellow Honey. I hope that's a girl and not a dude that I'm calling honey. DJ Good Vibe says, CDJs or a controller? This is one of those, again, this is one of those dangerous questions that I can't personally answer for you. Here's the thing. A lot of controllers, especially the upper end controllers, feel and act just like CDJs in a 909. So you get the best of both worlds with the controller, but in all honesty, it doesn't really matter. I mean, if you like CDJs, get CDJs. They're expensive as hell, so you're probably better off buying a controller, especially if it's just you, and you're going to get a lot more for your money than just getting CDJs. But, you know, everybody's got their thing. DJ Tim One from Berlin says, "What is your?" Come on, new comments. Get away from me so I can read this thing out. I wish I could read this. Let's see here. What's your favorite scratch vinyl? I don't have a favorite scratch vinyl. Probably because I use hee-haw breaks. If I'm using vinyl, that's probably the one I use the most right now. I don't carry a lot of my vinyl at my house. So, yeah, the hee-haw breaks is good. I got a couple other ones. I have somebody that's actually sending me some, his breaks, soon. So we'll be checking that out. As a matter of fact, I think I should have some new slip mats for the Rain 1 coming soon. So hopefully we'll get those out. It's funny. I didn't have a problem with the Rain 1 slip mats for weeks. Then on one of my shows, somebody had said, "Oh, hey, yeah, the slip mats stick." I'm like, "No, they don't. They're fine." And in that day, they were sticking. I was so frustrated. So now I had to change out. I actually had some Innofader slip mats. I can't find one of them. So one side is perfect. The other side sticks like hell till I get the other slip mats. I think somebody's sending me some butter rugs or something. I don't know. Okay. All right. A couple more questions here. It's actually honey, not honey, male, not female. I get that a lot. Well, if you get that a lot, man, I'm just saying. maybe add a consonant. Or just, one. I don't know. You do your thing. It's I still don't know what it is. You have to give me phonetics. Is it HNY? Is that what we're supposed to say? Yellow HNY? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. All right. Yamato DJ says, for a beginner who wanted to go up, what is the best DJ app option? Is a Serato record box? The answer is yes. I know you hate to hear me say that. They're all good. If you learn on Rekordbox, you're going to be happy that you're on Rekordbox. If you learn on Serato, you're going to be happy you learned on Serato. Same thing with Virtual DJ. The same thing with Algorithms DJ. All four of those, if you had to use any one of those, I would say you're absolutely fine. And no, don't you ask me about Tractor, people. Don't ask me about Tractor. But all four of those are fantastic problems. That was a Freudian. Are fantastic programs. As a matter of fact, I did a demo on Twitch. By the way, YouTube people, follow me on Twitch. All of my demos, everything I do for testing always happens on Twitch, not on YouTube. So I did a full-on Rain 1 algorithm DJ iPad session. Damn, am I impressed. I'm so impressed. So impressed. So, yeah, I'm happy with all of them. Yeah. When it's all said and done, I might be on algorithm. I might be on DJ. When it's all said and done, who knows? Who knows? Now, because of what I do, I, of course, have to use all the programs. I know that. It is what it is. But like I said before, they're all good. All of them. Winter Marvel. That's a very good question. We need to start that up soon. Seriously, especially because, Disney Plus. We need to actually make that happen. Mixmaster says Tractor is fine too. Yeah, sure. It's not that it's not bad. It's the fact that if you don't read the writing on the wall says Tractor's not going to last. That's what the writing on the wall says. I'm sorry, guys. I don't see any different. And there's absolutely nothing worse than, I'm always on IG looking at stuff. Make sure, by the way, mods, throw my IG in the chat too. I'm always on IG looking things up, and there's nothing worse than seeing a new product or a new whatever, and 99% of the time, this is the question we get. Are you gonna port this over to Tractor? Every piece of equipment. So the writing is on the wall, guys. I'm sorry. Get over it. And I know people will say you Tractor has the best sound of all the apps. It probably does, but for whatever reason, it's enjoying a very, very slow death. Yellow HNY says, as a virtual DJ user, what does Serato have over virtual DJ? Since I own a Hercules DJ controller and Pulse. I never said Serato had anything over virtual DJ. I never said that. And I won't say that. The only thing I will say about Serato is, and I still say this, people got mad at me when I made the video saying that it was the standard, but it is the industry standard. You know, if you ask most DJs will use Serato. Some will use Rekordbox because of CDJs. If for personal use, a lot of them may use virtual DJ. Okay. And there are certain clubs that might use virtual DJ. I've never seen one. I've never seen one club that I've walked into and had to work where I was using their equipment. They're like, oh, by the way, we use virtual DJ. Like never, not one time. Every one of them was like, we either use Serato or we use Rekordbox. Now, I said that and got burned, but I got burned because I said virtual DJ was a novelty at the time before I tested it all out. Now that I have, there's absolutely nothing over virtual DJ that Serato has. Now, Serato has phase, if we're talking about current things, and wireless phase only works with Serato right now. So right now, it's the only thing that Serato has over all the other apps. And once you start using wireless phase, it's really damn hard to go back to RCAs. So I use Serato right now specifically because of that. Like I can't even plug in my other thing. They won't see the wireless protocols. So yeah. DJ Darth Vader says, Loop Deck, have you seen this? I'm hella curious. I have seen Loop Deck. It's very expensive. And from what I've read, because I did a whole bunch of I did a whole bunch of research on it. And everybody was saying the same thing. It's a great product in concept, but it's limited in what you can do. So with the Stream Deck, which is like right here, everybody knows there's pretty much nothing you can't do with the Stream Deck. It's really your imagination that will set it up. But with the Loop Deck, all those things are they're hard coded in. J Style Sands, are the CDJs supported by Serato? I believe they are now. I believe that was in like 2.5.1 or something like that. Okay. Jason Janai, what's going on, man? Says no, they don't exist. I know people get really emotional. Virtual DJ guys get really, really emotional about their virtual DJ. They take it really personal about it. And hey, I respect that. I think everybody that uses a certain product is going to feel a certain amount of connection with whatever they use. Like I started my DVS futures from Serato. So I always end up going back to Serato because of what I learned on. If you learned on Rekordbox, I guarantee you, Rekordbox would be the thing you kind of go back to. If you learn on Virtual DJ, same thing, But I've said this about Virtual DJ. My only thing about Virtual DJ, and this is after using it over and over again, I can DJ with turntables on Virtual DJ just fine. But it always feels like it's not truly designed for turntables. Like the way the pitch bend has a slight delay when you're trying to speed up and do things quickly. On controllers, there's no equal on controllers. But on turntables, I still favor Serato on turntables. It still feels better to me. Yeah, Mixmaster says, in Europe, most will use Rekordbox. Exactly. Yeah, everybody has their thing. Okay, couple more. Swift says, DJ Prime 4 and DJ Prime 2. Engine Prime possibly heading into the Serato DJ form of being DJ software to use like Serato. Well, I mean, it is, I mean, the Prime software, the engine OS is good and it works just fine. I don't have an issue with it, and it's getting better and better. with the ability to stream your stuff over Dropbox, and like they keep adding things in that really, really make me impressed. Now, if we're asking about the Prime 2 versus the Prime 4, depends on what you're using it for. If you're using it for, if space is an issue, the Prime 2 is a better selection. The Prime 4 has things that the Prime 2 doesn't have. And I wish, it really bothered me when they came up with the Prime 2 and they got rid of things, because in my mind, you could have kept the same features and just had a 2-channel version. But for whatever reason, they probably felt like if they did that, the Prime 4 wouldn't sell as well. So they stripped it, like having the dual zone outs. I think that should have been on both of the devices. And there's a lot of little things like that that they took away on the Prime 2. But size-wise, Prime 2 is a better mobile option than the Prime 4. I use the Prime 4. It's a big control. Prime 4, Pioneer, XZ, like all of these things are humongous controllers that I couldn't personally, I could. We used to take turntable coffins around, but in good conscience, I really wouldn't want to. Okay, 2 more questions and then I got to go because I got to get on with Crate Hackers. I'm making them wait as it is. Real DJ AK47, what's going on, girl? Good to see you. Make sure you guys are following her. Let's see here. Yeah, so Yamato DJ. Here's the thing about Virtual DJ. If you don't tweak Virtual DJ, in my opinion, is if you don't tweak it, if you don't turn off things that they have set to default, you're not. I don't personally enjoy it that way. Virtual DJ until, not saying that I did it, but until they came out with their 3 different versions of their software that you can get into: beginner, intermediate, professional. Not saying that I did it. But the problem is, still by default, everything's turned on. The sync and the key, the auto key change, and all the temp, all these things are in there by default, and that drives me absolutely insane. Literally, when I go in there, I turn everything off, and then I add back in when I want to, because Virtual DJ tries to do too much for you. And I've tried to articulate that to them, that you're just doing too much. Like, you're making more work for yourself. Just, have options for people. So that's probably the one thing. I find if you turn everything off, it starts to feel a lot more like other programs. But, it just does some things by default that I'm just not a big fan of. Okay. One more question. Any idea where I can get a new pair of line faders for the DJI MS9 online? What is the there is a company, I can't think of the name right now. It reminds me of Full Cell, but it's not Full Compass. If you're looking for parts and nobody else has them, typically speaking, Full Compass does, and you can also just go to Pioneer. I believe you can buy those things direct from them, or find a Pioneer service center in your neck of the woods. And that's all you need. So, yeah, look around. We happen to have a Pioneer guy that does all the work for all of our equipment. So we just take it to them, and then they do all the ordering and the fixes and everything. Okay. Let's see here. Anything else? I think Darth Vader says, Pioneer motorized platform controller, myth or coming? It is whatever it is. I'm under NDA, people. So if I knew something, I couldn't say something, and if I didn't know something, I couldn't say anything because I'm under NDA. Shane Sinelson says, "What do you think is the best beginner mid-tier controller?" Newmark Platinum. Yeah. I was very impressed with the Newmark Platinum. Now, having said that, I haven't used every controller out there, like, at all. So there could be something that's even better out there, but I was very impressed by that. Okay. Let's see here. Any more questions before people try to get me in trouble from other companies? Okay. Do you use Autogain in Jason Jedi? Allegedly. That's like one of my favorite shows is Jesus and Meryl. Allegedly. Love me some Jesus and Meryl. Love, love, love. Okay, let's see. The question is, does... Oh, come on, keyboard. Do people honestly care about super good sound quality? Yes. Is that a trick question? Yeah, I do. Especially if you're performing live. Do you use Autogain in Serato? No, I just make sure that Serato remembers where my gain is. No, no, I don't, because I always have to adjust. But once you adjust it, it remembers your place. And I don't do Autogain in Virtual DJ too. Like all those autos just kill me. Okay. Was thinking about getting a new MacBook Pro. They're still good. I don't have an issue with the MacBook Pro. Let's see here. What equipment do you use in clubs? 900s, CDJs, turntables, S9s. That's pretty much it nowadays. That's pretty much all people will use, So, SL4. Ask, Gabriel Escobar says mono or stereo when doing a gig. Depends on the setup. This is one of those things you got to ask people. Are you outputting mono or are you outputting stereo? If you're outputting stereo. If it's a mono system, which a lot of them are, mono. But if I have two speakers, I'm going stereo. If I have one speaker, I'm going mono. L35 in the house. L35 in the house. All right. But DJ Dam is right. Most clubs do mono. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. I think I got to get off before Crate Hackers really gets pissed off at me. Okay. Queso asks what kind of specs for streaming. Streaming laptops. You just need a good GPU. Now, what part are we talking streaming? Are we talking audio streaming or video streaming? Audio streaming doesn't really matter. It's really your download capabilities versus the streaming itself, because it's going to download most of it before it even allows you to play it. So that's not an issue. And if you're using any of the Denning gear or Record Box 2, you have to download the entire song before you play it. If you're talking about video, I actually have something. There was one off of Best Buy for like $700. That's a decent streaming laptop that you can take with you. Has a decent GPU, and it's cheap. So, yeah. Okay. All right. I got to get off now before people get pissed off at me. So let me see who, because I'm already 4 minutes late. Let's see who is on. We got Stubbs on Snapback. We should probably raid Snapback. By the way, in case you guys were wondering, I will be on Snapback tomorrow. 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Basically, 30 minutes from before. So make sure you guys are on. Why are there two Snapbacks in my thing here? Because I pretty much know they're going to be so angry at me. All right. Or raid Bizon. You know what? Let's raid Bizon. Let's raid DJ Bizon. But you guys need to be on Snapback with me tomorrow. Make sure you guys are following them, because he only has 30 people. Snapback has like 200. All right. We're going to start this raid up. Something went wrong, meaning... mods, can you raid DJ Bizon, please? And it's, is he still on? DJ Bizzon. DJ Bizzon. Can the mods rate him? Maybe I don't have mods. Do I have to do my own raid? Oh, you already have a raid in progress. I can never see this stuff. It's so stupid. Okay. Yeah, nephew Washington says save solving raid problem. It's so stupid. All right. So guys, we're gonna be doing this raid in just a minute. Thank you guys for hanging out today. All the people off of YouTube, all the people off of Twitch. Thanks for hanging out. We are going to be on Snapback tomorrow. Snapback_live, 12 p.m. Come check me out. Have a good time. If you have any more asks, I will be back next week to do the very same thing. Enjoy yourselves, guys. I'll actually be back on Monday. I might actually be DJing tonight on Twitch just to kind of, I haven't DJed in a few days. So make sure you are on there. You guys know what to do. Hang out for the raid. Make sure you let him know where you're coming from. If you have my emotes, throw them up in the chat. Let him know. And obviously, you know, support your fellow DJ. I'm getting a, that's annoying. Anyway, slowest raid ever. I think we're raiding now. All right, we'll see you soon. Why was my raid canceled? Why did we cancel the raid? Now we're raiding Snapback. What the hell's going on with you people? I guess we're going to Snapback. Okay. Oh, raid it out. Thank you. All right. All right. So we're going to do this raid now. We're going to hit Snapback. It is what it is. I'll be on there tomorrow. So this is a perfect opportunity to make sure you're following Snapback. That way you see what's going on. I will see you soon. I'm going to be in so much trouble. Peace out. Stay 8 for the raid.